Tonight, through the use of the sports machine, it's true March Madness. We're down to the Final Four. Michael Jordan's Air Magic runs out of flight time in Toronto. Will Joe Torre be the manager who can lead Steinbrenner's Yankees to the World Series? I'm George Michael. You'll meet the man most people call the greatest young golfer in the world. Tonight on the Sports Machine. Last week I said that if you took Texas Tech in your pool to go to the Sweet 16, then you really knew college basketball. Tonight, if you've got Syracuse going to the Final Four, my friend, you are a genius. And maybe a little lucky. This afternoon, the 4th-seeded Orangemen upset 2nd-seeded Kansas 60-57. Syracuse, folks, was a 300-1 underdog to win the national championship. 151 to get to the Final Four. Let's go to Denver because they're there. The Orange Pyramid of Syracuse looking for their biggest win of the year, and they were going at it. First half, Syracuse and Orange. Lazarus Sims on a miss. Kansas on the rebound. Jacques Vaughn with the basketball. Sees an opening. Drives down the side of the lane. Throws up a real pretty underhander off of the glass. Jacques Vaughn would lead Kansas with 21 points. Well, let's go to late in the first half. Kansas turns the basketball over. Lazarus Sims with a great fake. I mean, that's a pretty fake. Then the alley-oop for John Wallace. John never really had that thing, but like Michael Jordan, you know, if you're going to go well, it's sometimes better to be lucky than just good. Syracuse led 35-26. We're in the late seconds of the game. Kansas in white trails by 3. Jacques Vaughn waiting too long. Had to get that shot off sooner. It doesn't good. Paul Pierce blocked. Syracuse upsets Kansas 60-57. You know, John Wallace changed his mind last spring after saying he was going to go to the NBA. He's glad he decided to stay at Syracuse.
You know, this is the reason why, you know, the big reason why I came back, you know, to try to lead our team to a situation like this. But now it's not even enough. I want more. I want to win it all. I don't want to just go down there and play ball.
These kids deserve a tremendous amount of credit. No one picked us to even get to the regional final. No one picked us to win it. Everybody talked about Arizona and Kansas being the game to determine who's going to the Final Four. These kids didn't listen to that, didn't worry about that. They just came out to play.
First Final Four since '87 for Syracuse. Coming up, Dennis Rodman. Will his troubles cost the Bulls an NBA record? And our Thompson's Minwack trivia question, which team has won the most NCAA tournament games without winning the championship?
Introducing something new from Lever 2000. Lever 2000 Antibacterial Bar. Germs in your hands can come from your nose. Germs in your ankles can come from your toes. Like other antibacterial soaps, Lever 2000 kills germs. But we have more moisturizer, so your skin will feel better, too. Germs on your head can come from your wrist. Germs on your face can come from a kiss. So use Lever 2000 Antibacterial Bar on all your 2000 parts. Keeps moisture in, keeps germs out.
Tough athlete's foot, cure it the way doctors do. With the same unbeatable medicine they prescribe time and again. It's in prescription strength Desenex. Nothing cures athlete's foot better. Prescription strength Desenex with the doctor's cure.
Dear Thompsons, when I ran out of Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofer, a clerk said, try this one. They're all the same. What a mistake. 2 years later, rain still rolls off the Thompson side. The other side soaks it up. Thanks, Thompsons. Steven Zukauskas.
Hey folks, I'm Mike Olson from Mike Olson Dodge. You want to buy a new car or truck? Well, you can buy one down here at Mike Olson Dodge, and we've got the best selection we've ever had of new pickups, vans, and those are the vans with the doors on both sides. New neon cars, new Intrepid cars. We've got them all here, folks, and we've got lots of them. Come in March and make a great buy at Mike Olson Dodge in Yakima.
Experts keep telling us to take control of our health. There are more preventative programs, more awareness about diet and exercise, and more people asking more questions of doctors. But what if the doctor can't answer your question? Not because he or she doesn't know the answer, but because your insurance company won't let them. It's called the gag rule, and there are several companies here in the state that mandate it. So what does this mean for you and your health? Find out on Monday when we look at the gag rule, a doctor's forced silence.
Folks, let no one say that Mississippi State has backed their way into the Final Four. Consider the fact that they had to upset Kentucky. Then this past Friday, the 5th-seeded Bulldogs upset the number 1-seeded Connecticut. And then, of course, tonight, Mississippi State knocks off 2nd-seeded Cincinnati. 73-63, they advance to their first Final Four ever, and they still don't get respect. I'll explain it for you. Let me take you to Lexington. Cincinnati Bearcat fan thinking this is going to be one of the best days for Cincinnati in many, many, many years. Well, Mississippi State's Dante Jones hit beautiful long-range bombs, 17 points in the first half alone. And tell me if Dante Jones enjoyed his basket. First, a friendly sign to the fans that he knows. Keep on going, Dante. We're going to stay with you. Hey, man, we got time here on the machine. You put on the show. Oh, yes. Coach loves to see that in the first half, right? The highest jumper of the day is Darrell Wilson of Mississippi State, who goes over into press row. Says, turn around, introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Darrell Wilson. I'm glad to meet your acquaintance, sir. State's Marcus Bullard with a great pass under double-team pressure. Bullard, a great pass to Dante Jones. Oh, and then you know what's coming next. Jam time. Mississippi State beat Cincinnati 73-63. But as Coach Richard Williams points out, listen carefully, folks, there's still no respect, folks.
Some of you get the opinion that we're irritable, whiny, some of the adjectives I've seen. Well, let me give you some reasons why. The Final Four caps says Mississippi on the back of it. Not Mississippi State, but Mississippi. So I think we have reason sometimes to be that way.
Yo, who made the hats? Who made the hats? How can you call Mississippi State Mississippi? Somebody's got to lose their job. San Antonio Spurs and Indiana Pacers in a war today. I mean a war where the Spurs get their 13th straight. In the circle, follow this, folks, is Dale Davis and David Robinson. Do you see any really unnecessarily rough play? You know, you've got two big men in the lane. Nothing really out of the ordinary. As they're going back up the court, watch Dale Davis. He levels David Robinson. I mean, leveled him. Referee said, all right, we'll call a foul. No one ejected, which was probably the right call. You can't take a guy out of a big game like that. The Spurs would end up getting their 13th win. But you tell Reggie Miller that there wasn't a foul here as he's being guarded by Avery Johnson. Who are you going to call for a foul? Reggie gets called for the foul. Slams the basketball. He's kicked out of the game. Bob Hill says, I love it. Spurs win their 13th in a row. Beat the Pacers 100-88. We're in Toronto. It's the Raptors versus the Bulls in red. Michael Jordan along the baseline with the basketball. Now you've got him contained. And how does he get loose? Air Jordan skies for 36 points to lead the way for the Chicago Bulls. But the Raptors played a great game so that we're down to the final seconds of the game. The Bulls in red trail by 1 point, 109-108. That's Steve Kerr. No good. Michael Jordan on the rebound, puts up the shot, off of the glass. It's in. The time had run out. Raptors get the upset of the day, beating the Bulls 109-108. If anyone can relate to Michael Jordan and the Bulls' frustration with Dennis Rodman, certainly it's got to be the San Antonio Spurs. But let me take you back, first of all, to the past of time and what happened. As you know, Dennis Rodman is serving now 4 games already of a 6-game suspension. This coming for headbutting the referee, which you can't do, Ted Bernhardt. Rodman has served 4 games already, fined $20,000. But perhaps most costly is the potential damage done to the Bulls, who are shooting for a record-breaking 70-win season. As Michael Jordan said, folks, this just isn't a good time.
No matter how you look at it, if he wants to be a part of this team and the system, he's got to be there when we really need him. And right now, he's not there when we really need him, but we're compromising, and hopefully we can make it through this point.
Last season, while with the San Antonio Spurs, Dennis Rodman helped them win a record 62 wins. But Dennis got into feuds with Coach Bob Hill. He was disciplined several times. Of course, that didn't keep him from being Dennis Rodman. Then came the second round of the playoffs and an exit from the playoffs. Dennis Rodman, when he's on a game, can be an absolutely positive, devastating guy. And when he's off his game, he can be totally destructive for a team. Well, that's what we kind of try to tell everybody. As good as Dennis is, and at times, a lot of times, it's real fun to play with Dennis because he's got great energy and enthusiasm, and he's a smart player. He understands how to play the game. But sometimes his emotions get out of hand, and just like the other day, it just seems to come at the worst time ever. And you know, for us, you know, right when we were molding and we're doing the right things, and you know, he misses 15 games right before the playoffs. And it kind of throws us into a tailspin because when he comes back, who all of a sudden do we sit down after winning 15 in a row? And so it just seems to come at the wrong time with some of the things that have happened with him. But you know, that time is over and we're on to a new time. Spurs, 13 wins in a row. Here's our Thompson's Minwax trivia question of the night. Which team has won the most NCAA tournament games without winning the championship? And the answer is Syracuse Orangemen with 34 wins.
Dear Thompsons, when I ran out of Thompson's Water Seal waterproofer, a clerk said, try this one. They're all the same. What a mistake. 2 years later, rain still rolls off the Thompson side. The other side soaks it up. Thanks, Thompsons. Steven Zukowskis.
Tough athlete's foot, cure it the way doctors do. With the same unbeatable medicine they prescribe time and again. It's in prescription strength Desenex. Nothing cures athlete's foot better. Prescription strength Desenex with the doctor's cure.
Hey, sir, if you could just help me out. A new coat of paint, oh so sweet. Sharp edges, steel dents, and break these covers. Pretty please, you'll be the first place. I'll always try, the power's here. Now at the softer side, come see the softer side of fear.
Introducing something new from Lever 2000. Lever 2000 antibacterial bar. Germs on your hands can come from your nose. Germs on your ankles can come from your toes. Like other antibacterial soaps, Lever 2000 kills germs. But we have more moisturizer, so your skin will feel better, too. Germs on your head can come from your wrist. Germs on your face can come from a kiss. So use Lever 2000 antibacterial bar on all your 2000 parts. Keeps moisture in, keeps germs out.
Oh, we're definitely helping to clean up the environment.
I feel good. You know, I did something today to help out somebody else.
You learn as you do.
In the Coast Guard, I've learned environmental science.
The more we protect the environment, the better place the world will be.
I can't believe I get paid for this.
Ow!
Hey folks, you ever wonder where to take your Chrysler, Dodge, or Jeep product to get the best service in Yakima? Well, Mike Olson Dodge has won the 5-star award for excellent service from Chrysler Corporation for the second year in a row. And folks, that says something all by itself. So if you want great service on your Chrysler car, truck, or van, or Jeep, come to Mike Olson Dodge, 1710 South 1st Street.
Who says spring training basketball is real laid back? Not when it involves the Seattle Mariners and the San Francisco Giants. Let me take you out west because this was a wild game. We're in Phoenix, Arizona. We're in the bottom of the 6th. The Giants lead the Mariners 6-3. That's Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds of the Giants up against his former teammate Solomon Torres, high and tight. And it hits him. Barry Bonds waves the wand as he walks out to the mound. Well, Mariners catcher John Marzano quickly jumps in and becomes a rather forceful peacemaker, saying, Barry, you're never going to get to my pitcher. Then out comes the Giants' Mel Hall, who says to Mr. Marzano, let's really keep peace here. The Giants beat up the Mariners this afternoon 13-3. All right, folks, it's time for you to put on your spring training umpiring gear and give me a call on a tough play. We're in Vero Beach, Florida. The Dodgers and the Marlins. That's the Dodgers' Delano to Shields. He comes up with a ground ball, base hit into right field. Milt Thompson is trying to score. Is he safe or out? Here comes the throw from Gary Sheffield. Here's the slide. He is... Y'all are saying out? Y'all are wrong. Look at the umpire. Safe is the call. Dodgers edge the Marlins 6-5. I just wanted you to know that it's spring training and you all are not really ready yet for making the big calls. It's been 15 years since George Steinbrenner's New York Yankees have been to a World Series. Is Joe Torre, who has never been to a World Series as a player or as a manager, is Joe the one that can coexist with Steinbrenner and lead the Yankees to the promised land? Let's go to New York to understand it all. Came as a surprise to some that 55-year-old Joe Torre, very popular man, was named the Yankees manager last November. A respected baseball man. Why would he take the toughest job of all? That is managing the Yankees. But it's been a calm camp for the Yankees in Tampa. It is calm right now. Some predict that it will become stormy. Why would Joe want to work for George Steinbrenner, an owner who is known for firing his managers and who is known to call and yell at a manager in the middle of a game? Why, Joe?
I think it's easier to be able to put up with whatever there is I have to put up with, or, you know, whatever it is with the Yankees. I can do that. I mean, the fact of the matter is, I don't know how I'm going to handle situations, but I'll handle them. You know, I've been fired 3 times. I mean, what else could possibly happen to me in baseball? What's the worst thing that can happen? Fired? Big deal.
What a great attitude from a great guy. Torre played 18 years in the major leagues, a 9-time All-Star, but never had the fortune to play in the World Series, not as a player, as a manager of the Mets, Braves, and Cardinals. Now, he's a player's manager, and everybody knows that. He is willing to put up with whatever George Steinbrenner might have to offer because he wants a chance to get to the World Series.
As far as George Steinbrenner, I mentioned, he has the burning desire to win. He's going to give you the players and give you the opportunity to win. You know, all the downsides to working for the Yankees and George Steinbrenner, the upside is so much higher for me because you have a chance to get to the World Series, and then that's the one missing ingredient in my career so far.
Recognize the man talking with Joe Torre, Reggie Jackson, a reminder of the glory days. Torre wants to bring back those glory days. If he can handle the toughest job in all of baseball, Joe Torre may deliver the World Series that George Steinbrenner and the Yankees have been waiting 15 years for. What a day of racing. Winston Cup racing at its very best. Let me take you to the Trans-South 400. For that, we go down to Darlington, South Carolina, lap 21. That's Ken Schrader in the number 25 Budweiser car. From the right of your screen, Michael Waltrip, what's happening? Michael Waltrip runs right up on into Ken Schrader. On lap 160, Robert Presley is leading the race. Robert Presley, number 33 in green, suddenly blows an engine. The man behind him, Jeff Gordon, avoids it all and goes on to pass him. And Jeff Gordon would be there right at the finish. Because on lap 286 of this 293-lap race, Jeff Gordon is leading Dale Jarrett. But here comes Dale Jarrett on the low road. Number 88, Ford Quality Care car. Jarrett passes Gordon. But Gordon will retake the lead coming up right here. Gordon goes on to pass Jarrett and win the race. Jarrett would run out of gas and finish 15th. Bobby Labonte would be second. Ricky Craven was third. And the winner of the Trans-South 400 was the man. He does it again. Meanwhile, in Phoenix on Friday, the wildest ride of the weekend, Buddy Lazier. He spins. Lynn St. James goes up on top and into the wall. Lynn St. James was uninjured and would come back today to finish 21st in the Indy Phoenix 200, a race that was won by Arie Luyendyk. By the way, in that incident, Lazier suffered a broken pelvis. Rick Pitino, I'm afraid that as long as you're winning, you're going to have your name in the rumor mill because the word is that you're going to take another job going to the Nets, Brian?
George, coaching gossip heads this week's Rumorville. Now, I talked with Rick Pitino this week, and he told me, forget about these rumors out of New York that he's going to go to the New Jersey Nets. He said he's not interested. He's not leaving Kentucky unless they kick him out. But Rick Majerus, the Utah coach, his name keeps coming up for the St. John's job. In baseball, you want to talk about a petty move. The Milwaukee Brewers have distributed the number 4 jersey of former Brewer and future Hall of Famer Paul Molitor to, get this, a non-roster player. Now, this is clearly a move to get back at Molitor for not re-signing with his old team and instead going to the Minnesota Twins. And finally, George, this from the NBA. The Denver Nuggets have sent Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf home from their road trip just a few days early because of a mysterious ankle injury. But his teammates are whispering that it has a lot more to do with all the controversy over the national anthem. And that's why he came home. Apparently, the pressure is getting to him. That's all from Rumorville this week, George. I'm Brian Burwell for the Sports Machine.
Brian Burwell with the inside story. Our Sports Machine Play of the Week salutes a perfect season by the NCAA Division II basketball champions. We're in Louisville, Kentucky. Northern Kentucky in yellow versus Fort Hays State. Shannon Miner with a basketball makes a pass that is stolen by Sherrick Simpson for the jam. All the way for Simpson. Fort Hays State of Kansas defeats Northern Kentucky 70-63, winning the Division II title. Finished the season a perfect 34-0. Fort Hays State earns our Sports Machine Play of the Week. Coming up, they say he could be the best golfer ever to step onto a golf course. Stand by.
Dear Thompsons, when I ran out of Thompson's Water Seal waterproofer, clerk said, try this one. They're all the same. What a mistake. 2 years later, rain still rolls off the Thompson side. The other side soaks it up. Thanks, Thompsons. Steven Zukauskas.
Have you had your break today, yeah?
For years of beauty, protect your wood floors, furniture, and more with Minwax polyurethane. Minwax contains pure urethane oil for a beautiful finish, tough enough to handle years of heavy traffic. Minwax makes and keeps wood beautiful.
A vehicle's wheels can wind up doing a lot of the steering. That's why you need the kind of wheels you'll find on a new Honda Accord. We've spent years developing our special four-wheel double wishbone suspension for a smoother ride and better control, even over things that no one can control. Double wishbone suspension. One more reason you can count on Honda and your Honda dealer. And now you can get 3.9% APR financing on all 96 Accords.
Hey folks, I'm Mike Olson from Mike Olson Dodge. You want to buy a new car or truck? Well, you can buy one down here at Mike Olson Dodge, and we've got the best selection we've ever had of new pickups, vans, and those are the vans with the doors on both sides, new neon cars, new Intrepid cars. We've got them all here, folks, and we've got lots of them. Come in March and make a great buy at Mike Olson Dodge in Yakima.
Welcome back to the Sports Machine. Laurie Davies and Scott McCarron, the big winners on the golf tour today. You know, of all the talented young golfers competing, none has shown as much promise as 20-year-old Tiger Woods. He's already established himself as one of the greatest amateurs ever. What makes him so unique is his ability to handle the spotlight, something he's been doing since he was 2 years old. Let me take you to the golf course. He is known as Tiger Woods, called the most promising golfer on the planet. He views golf as a one-on-one sport, him against the course.
I like the individuality of the game, because you're out there all by yourself. And you make a mistake, whose fault is it? It's yours. You can screw up, or you can have success.
Tiger Woods' first major victory came at the age of 18 in the '94 U.S. Amateur at Sawgrass. He became the youngest ever to win that championship.
Tiger Woods and his father, Earl Woods.
You're watching 2-year-old Tiger Woods. He made his national television debut along with his father, Earl, Bob Hope, and Jimmy Stewart on The Mike Douglas Show. It was the first chance for America to see that Tiger Woods, indeed, was born to play the game of golf. He was born Eldrick Woods in Southern California. His father nicknamed him Tiger in honor of a brave Army friend. At the age of 3, Tiger shot a 48 on 9 holes. His parents gave him the opportunity to play golf, so long as he got his education.
What they always try to do is hold me back a little bit, because I was so motivated and wanted to play the game so much, like 24 hours a day, that my mom did a fabulous job of stressing education in our family. My father was always working, so it was hard for him to do it, but when he could, he did. My mom was always there, so she basically said, if you don't have your homework done, you can't practice.
Tiger Woods. He's only a 20-year-old sophomore at Stanford. The one issue that's more frustrating than missing a putt, however, is trying to educate the media on his ethnic background. Last June at the U.S. Open, he had to issue a statement to the press explaining his heritage both as an African-American and as an Asian. Woods had grown tired of the media wanting to label him as one or the other.
Basically, they've been hounding me on the black issue, and I just got tired of it. I always tried to convey to the point that it's one thing to be black, but when you're also some other races, then you can't categorize me as strictly black or African-American, however you want to put it. So, you know, it just basically frustrated and pissed me off to the point where I had to do that to clear the air. And once I did, I don't think this ever happens, but the whole media room, this is worldwide media, all applauded. And some people even stood up. I mean, that's when I thought I did the right thing.
This year, Tiger Woods will be competing in his second straight Masters. Last year, in his first appearance at Augusta, the 19-year-old sensation was the only amateur to make the cut. He finished tied for 41st. He said he was not intimidated or in awe of the tradition of Augusta. His critics said he was being disrespectful of the Masters.
People ask me, how are you going to treat this tournament? And they want to hear me say that this is the Masters, and I'm in awe, and I'm, you know, to play here. And I said, this is just another tournament. I'm going to go out there, and I'm going to give it my best. And I said, low score wins. That game does not change no matter what level you go to. And I got criticized very harshly for that, and I could never figure that out. But, you know, that's the way I believe in. That's what I believe in, and that's where I'm going to stay.
He first appeared on television as a 2-year-old. But unlike those athletes who have started so early and have burnt out along the way, Tiger Woods wants to enjoy and cherish every moment of his accomplishments.
For me, it's more of enjoyment. If I enjoy life, then that's my legacy. I've enjoyed life to the fullest, and I've had my fun. And I've helped out people, I've cared and shared along the way, and I'm happy.
Last August, Tiger Woods became the first player in 12 years to win back-to-back U.S. Amateur Championships. His future is limitless. He is a young man who proudly embraces his heritage. He is committed to charting his own course in the traditional world of golf. I want to take just a moment tonight to welcome everyone in Tupelo, Mississippi, watching on WTVA TV. Thanks for letting us be a part of your weekend. I'm George Michael. We'll see you next Sunday.